For Angie and Tony Hawkins, the past 2 years since their daughter Lindsay vanished without a trace have been brutal. They will never stop trying to uncover the truth and bring Lindsay home. Newswatch reporter Jillian Risberg has the Hawkins emotional story.
Lindsay Gail Hawkins was last seen at her boyfriend's house in Ottawa, West Virginia on May 18, 2021, when a suspicious fire broke out at the house. The 33-year-old has not been seen or heard from since. Somebody knows something, says Angie Hawkins, of the small West Virginia town where Lindsay went missing.
That is a very large family, too. I realize people tend to protect their family, but they know where my daughter is. The two people that seen her last, they know what happened. So they've talked to someone, they've told somebody what happened that night. They went to an awful great lengths to cover up something.
Tony's dad and Angie's parents recently passed, and on their deathbeds asked what happened to their granddaughter.
This is murder. They have done something to her. She would have been here. She would have called us. She wouldn't have done this.
When the state police task force went to excavate the house, they found it had been moved, which Angie calls an attempt to cover it up.
Reseeded, and apparently while it was still smoldering. So as you can imagine, didn't leave a whole lot of evidence behind. What was found was sent to the FBI center in Quantico.
Angie says she felt like most law enforcement profiled Lindsay and decided they had little interest in investigating her disappearance. The state police, on the other hand, acknowledged not only that she was the Hawkins' daughter, but also a human being.
Done multiple interviews and have discovered that at the time of the fire, the county sheriff's department never investigated the case. They never went to the homes that had cameras that could have provided evidence that Lindsay was in the home and who was with her at the time of the fire. They didn't even ask those people. Outside of the state police and the FBI, there's been nothing. They did not do their job. They went to great lengths to cover up the fact that they did not do their job. The reports that they have finally started turning in are half par at best.
According to Angie, as Christians, everybody pays for their sins, whether on this side or the other. And putting the guilty party or parties in a cell where they're going to get 3 square meals a day and TV doesn't sound like punishment to her.
I want my kid back. And if she's gone, I want her to have a Christian burial. And I want her family and friends to be able to come and pay their respects and tell their stories. But this never-ending nightmare is not fair to us. It's not fair to Lindsay. It's not fair to everybody who ever cared about her.
What would you be willing to do to bring your kid home? Because Angie says they've done it.
We're out there at night in very scary places and talk to people we would have never imagined. My son has had a gun pulled on him 3 times trying to get information about his sister, and he won't stop. We won't stop. They're not going to cover it up for long. Everything comes to light eventually. It's the end game for us to bring her home. And I don't know what life looks like after that, having to face the fact that she's not coming back.
In Ansted, multimedia journalist Jillian Risberg for Newswatch.